Hey everyone, it's RainAsh30, and today I've gone through the evolution of the Winter Soldier and all of his appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So to find out how Bucky Barnes has gotten from here to here, allow me to fill in the blanks and let's get started. Number 1. Captain America, the First Avenger. We begin with his first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where we find Steve Rogers getting beaten up and Bucky Barnes arriving in uniform to help him. After revealing he's been transferred to the 107th, he spends a night out with Steve, says goodbye to him, gets shipped off to England, but gets captured by Hydra. When Steve takes the super soldier serum and later learns that the 107th has been captured, he infiltrates a Hydra facility and rescues Bucky. To stop Hydra's conquest, Steve assembles the Howling Commandos and asks Bucky to join him on the front lines. But when they later attempt to catch a train and capture Arnim Zola, Bucky falls from the train and is believed to be dead.
You ready to follow Captain America into the jaws of death?
Hell no. That little guy from Brooklyn who was too dumb not to run away from a fight. I'm following him. But you're keeping the outfit, right?
Number 2. Captain America the Winter Soldier. Almost 70 years after we saw Bucky fall to his death, the Winter Soldier attempts to assassinate Nick Fury when he discovers that Hydra has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. After Steve and Natasha begin investigating the assassin, he confronts them on a highway, but when Steve engages him in combat, he discovers that Bucky is the Winter Soldier and doesn't know who he is. Later, while Bucky's arm is being fixed, he remembers how Zola's experiments helped him survive the fall, being turned into the Winter Soldier and then being put on ice. After his mind is wiped, he fights Steve before he stops Hydra. But when Steve decides not to fight and says the iconic line, "I'm with you to the end of the line," Bucky saves Steve from drowning. And later in the post-credit scene, at the Captain America exhibit, we see Bucky in disguise reading his memorial. Number 3. Captain America Civil War. In 1991, we learned that Bucky was pulled out of hibernation for missions and became compliant with Hydra's brainwashing. Now in 2016, he's framed for killing King T'Chaka. But when we find him adjusting to a regular life, a task force is sent after him. While Steve helps and stops Black Panther from killing him, Bucky gets arrested. But after Zemo brainwashes him and learns where he was stored, Steve and Sam capture him. When he reveals that there are more Winter Soldiers, Steve forms a team to stop them. But while attempting to leave, they fight Iron Man's team, who's been tasked to arrest Bucky. After Steve and Bucky escape, Tony discovers that Bucky killed his parents and starts fighting them in anger. Steve then leaves with Bucky and takes him to Wakanda, where he's put under ice until they find a way to remove his brainwashing. Number 4. Black Panther. Taking place about 2 years after Civil War, in the post-credit scene, we find Bucky out of hibernation, waking up in Wakanda, and given the name White Wolf. Not making a big appearance, we see Bucky with longer hair, traditional clothing, and later thanking Shuri for helping remove Hydra's brainwashing from his mind.
How are you feeling?
Good. Thank you.
Come. Much more for you to learn.
Number 5. Avengers Infinity War. A couple months later, T'Challa gives Bucky, or the White Wolf, a vibranium arm and tells him to prepare for the upcoming battle, as Thanos' army will invade to try to retrieve the Mind Stone. When the Quinjet arrives so they can remove Vision's stone without killing him, Bucky reunites with Steve after seeing him since he went under ice. Thanos' army then shows and attempts to breach the shield, but after they get through, Bucky, the Wakandans, and all the heroes engage them in a deadly battle. Though Thor arrives with help and basically destroys everyone, Thanos arrives with 5 Infinity Stones, takes the last one from Vision, and finally snaps his fingers. But while half of all life disintegrate, Bucky is the first to die.
How much for the gun? Not for sale. Okay, how much for the arm? Oh, I'll get that arm.
Number 6. Avengers Endgame. When Ant-Man returns 5 years later and Tony discovers time travel, the remaining heroes start a time heist to retrieve all the Infinity Stones and bring everyone back. Though there are complications, Hulk snaps everyone back, but after Thanos destroys the Avengers compound, portals open from across the galaxy. We then see Bucky arrive from Wakanda and everyone who died return to band together to stop Thanos and his army in a final battle. After Tony sacrifices himself, we see Bucky and the other heroes kneel for him in a deleted scene and later attend his funeral. After Steve volunteers to return the stones and Mjolnir, he comes back old and gives Sam the shield, where we see Bucky agreeing that he should take up the mantle.
Don't do anything stupid till I get back.
How can I? You're taking all this stupid with you. Gonna miss you, buddy.
It's gonna be okay, Buck.
Number 7. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A year after returning, we see Bucky with his original hairstyle, living a regular life, but having nightmares of his past. He attends therapy sessions for his pardon and uses Steve's book to make amends with people for what he did as the Winter Soldier. After Sam gives away Cap's shield, Bucky confronts him about giving it up and ends up joining him on his mission to stop the Flag Smashers. While working with Zemo and Sharon and refusing to work with the new Cap, we learn that Io helped free Bucky from Hydra's programming. As Sam helps him get through his struggles with his former life, Bucky asks Io for a favor and helps Sam become Captain America. After Bucky gives his friend closure for the Winter Soldier killing his son, he crosses off all the names on his list and becomes comfortable being around other people. Throughout the series, Bucky and Sam have their awkwardness and issues, but end up becoming great friends and a team. I mean, partners. Sorry, I meant co-workers. Number 8. What If? Based on the comic series of the same name, a being known as the Watcher will narrate the show and explain what would happen if situations turned out differently. Now we know that the show hasn't been released, but the trailer does reveal unique storylines. Like what if Peggy Carter took the Super Soldier Serum and T'Challa became Star-Lord? We see Bucky in the shot of him with Peggy and the Howling Commandos, like the iconic scene with Steve from the first Cap movie, but the most interesting shot is Bucky in his Infinity War look, facing off against a zombie Captain America.
I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and dare to face the unknown.
And that's the end of the Winter Soldier's evolution in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and hit the bell notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next evolution.